Hey, it's Desiree Stafford, and I am excited to be here with you today, presenting to you how you can unleash your potential and add 20K to 50K plus per month to your coaching business with simplicity and ease. I'm really excited to share this with you because I know that there are a lot of ridiculously talented coaches out there struggling to really take your business to the level that you know that you're capable of. Right? I was in your shoes not that long ago, so I'm really passionate about sharing with you what's happened in my life and my business, what's transformed that allowed me to experience a quantum leap in income, which I'll share with you how I did that a little bit later on, as well as my clients. I'm going to share with you the stories behind successes like this. This is a client that I work with. She's an intuitive, and she was averaging, get this, around $1,000 a month, okay? Within the first couple of weeks of us working together, she celebrated a $9,000 morning that turned into a $30,000 day. Here's another client who celebrated a $60,000 day. Now, I'm not sharing these numbers to impress you. I'm really sharing these numbers because I want you to understand how quickly you can experience a quantum leap in your income and also in your impact by following what I'm going to share with you here today. All right, so let's get into who I am, right? So my name again is Desiree Stafford. Let me move that photo, the video out of my way a little bit. And I want to share with you what we're going to talk about here today. Okay, so I really specialize in helping ambitious coaches break through to their next level of income and impact, right? So this is really about you being able to get out of your own way and start making the kind of money that you know that you're capable of. Right? So what we're going to talk about is, number one, why undercharging keeps you and your client small, and how to command the fees that actually reflect the massive value you deliver. We're also going to talk about how to effortlessly attract a steady flow of badass clients without paid ads, launches, or posting 24/7. And I'm going to share with you the secret to closing more sales on the spot. Yes, even 10K and 30K full pay sales. How would it feel to have 10K or 30K land in your bank account from one amazing client, right? That's what we're going to talk about here today. So make sure you have something to write with. You close the door to your office. You make sure that you have the time dedicated to what I'm going to share with you here today. I'm going to be pouring into a lot of stuff. So I want to make sure that you're able to receive it, okay? And put it to good use for yourself. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk to you about is why undercharging keeps you and your clients small. You probably don't think about it this way, but it's the reality, right? And I'm going to explain to you why I believe this to be true. And so we're also going to talk about how to command fees that reflect the massive value you deliver. So the first thing I want to ask you is, how do you feel when you undercharge? Do you feel lit up, right? Do you feel excited, or do you feel more frustrated, resentful, not at your best, right? Usually it's the latter, something along the latter. When we know that there's more for us, but we're holding ourselves back, we typically don't feel like ourselves. We typically feel that we're restricting ourselves, that we're shrinking to some degree. And when we're doing that, we really are not at our best. So this is what it might feel like to you. It might feel like you have to work really hard to make more money because you're undercharging. And perhaps you see a lot of people, even with less experience than you, getting the kind of results that they desire, charging the fees that they know their work is worth. Meanwhile, you're still working extra hard and not making the level of income that actually affords you the lifestyle that you desire, right? Perhaps you feel overwhelmed or on the verge of burnout. Many of my clients come to me feeling like this. They feel, because they're working so hard when it comes to their marketing, as well as when it comes to delivering to their clients, they're overwhelmed. They're on the verge of burnout, right? They're not full of life and energized the way that they want to be. And so what that does is it takes a toll on you, first of all, right? Because when you're giving from a cup that's empty, you can't really give, you can't really serve as powerfully as you're meant to, right? It impacts your clients, it impacts your family. They don't get to enjoy, the pleasure of experiencing you at your best. So I would imagine what you want instead is that you want to be able to make more money with less effort. Now, there are a couple of different ways to make more money, right? You can sign a lot more clients, you can raise your fees, or you can have more clients renew with you, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about the raising your fees and having clients renew with you, right? Because when you're charging higher fees, you need less sales in order to start making the financial goals that you have for yourself, right? So it gives you a lot more time and space. So you get to make more money with less effort. You feel energized by your work when you are being compensated at the level that you know that you should be at by now, right? Aren't you more energized? Aren't you more excited and enthusiastic? And when you're coming from that space, guess what gets to happen? You serve at your highest level and you make a bigger impact. When your cup is full, when you're taking care of your needs and your desires, imagine the kind of energy that your clients get to step into. Imagine the impact that has on them and their results, right? So let's talk about this a little bit deeper. I want to talk about the solution here. My solution in my business and with many of my clients is to command the fees that reflect the value that you add to your clients' lives. So this is about you, number one, elevating your perspective of the value that you add to people's lives, right? This is where you start. You can't just add a zero to your package and expect to get it. You have to fundamentally change the way that you see your value, the way that you see how your work impacts people's lives. Okay, so this is something that I'm really good at helping my clients with, because oftentimes a client will come to me with the desire to charge more, but the reason they haven't given themselves permission yet is because they can't really connect the dots, or they haven't yet connected the dots so that it makes sense in their own mind, so that it feels like a no-brainer, so that they have the confidence to go out into the marketplace and ask for the bigger sale. Typically when clients come to me, they're wanting to charge $5,000 to $50,000 for an engagement. So that could look like a 90-day package. It could look like a 6-month mastermind. It could look like a year-long mastermind. It could look like whatever it is that you want it to look like, right? I do have some clients who charge courses as a front-end way to work with them, and then they have a mastermind on the back end. So it really depends on what it is that you're wanting to do, and I can certainly help you figure that out, and I'll let you know how we can talk about that at the end of this video here. So the first thing, though, is for you to, number one, get clear on what that value is. I know that you know it from a certain level, but what we're wanting you to do is expand your perspective of the value that clients get. One of the things that often my clients tend to miss on their own is that the work that you do with your clients, while it's going to get them immediate results, it also will have a benefit on your clients for their entire lifetime, right? And so it's your work to figure out what the benefit looks like, so that you then have the confidence to command the higher fees, all right? So this is what gets to happen when you allow yourself to command the fees that you desire. Your clients become inspired to show up for themselves more powerfully, and they get a bigger ROI with less effort on your part. I know this from personal experience. My clients actually enjoy being stretched by my fee, right? Because it's their way of showing up for themselves differently. And when people show up for themselves differently, they get different results, right? I can't tell you the number of people who have thanked me for investing in a 5-figure sale, okay? So I know this is true. I know that this is what also positions you as an expert. You know, if you're wanting to work with a higher level of client, someone who's sophisticated, someone who's already invested in themselves numerous times, in order to get their attention and help hold them accountable, your fee is really part of their accountability. You've got to charge at a certain level that it makes sense for them, right? There are a lot of clients in the marketplace who will not invest in anything that's low ticket. They've been there, they've done that, and they're wanting to expand, right? And so higher ticket fees really inspire them to stretch themselves and to show up at a higher level, right? And so you also then feel inspired to tap into higher levels of your genius. Again, when your cup is full, when you know that your needs and your desires are being taken care of, then you have more access to your creativity, right? Your brain is not consumed with, how do I bring in more sales so I can pay my bills, right? You know everything is covered. And so now you're in this space that allows you to tap into higher levels of your genius and support your clients even more powerfully than ever before. And the beauty of this is when your needs are met and your clients are being stretched, together you make magic, right? Together you make the most incredible magic that makes your clients feel like working with you is the best investment they could have made, right? So this is why I'm really passionate about high ticket fees. Is high ticket for everyone? No, but I would imagine that because you're here, you're at a stage where you desire more, right? So I don't tell my clients how much to charge. What I really do is help them get in touch with how much they desire to receive and help them figure out you know, how can they build the value into the program? This doesn't mean giving more time or adding more stuff into your containers. It's really about shifting your own perspective of the value so that you can confidently stand in your feet and receive it, okay? So what I want to do is introduce you to Whitney. And I want to introduce you to Whitney because I think hearing people's stories really can impact the way that you see raising your fees. Because when Whitney came to me, she was very frustrated. Now, she had an amazing track record of client successes, but she was not allowing herself to receive at the level that she wanted to. And she had been stuck at $20,000 a month. She was on the verge of burnout. She was working her tail off and just could not get beyond that point. Occasionally she would have a peak, but she'd keep coming back down to the 20K a month. And part of this was because her pricing structure, right? The way that she had her business set up, her entire business model really was not set up in a way that supported her. She had some lower priced courses, but she really didn't have a back end. She didn't have a mastermind or anything to support clients ongoing. So it was always starting, she was always starting over from zero every month, right? She didn't have a way to feel safe that there was always going to be money coming in, you know, through some type of container that allowed her to be more relaxed, more at ease when she was out in the marketplace, calling in more clients, right? And so that's one of the things I helped her do was create a mastermind for herself. So she maintained that front end offer. I think we added one additional front end offer for her. And then she was able to also move people into a mastermind. And by doing so, she went from being stuck at $20,000 a month to celebrating $96,000. It was her best sales month ever, right? And so what's really important here is not just the financial result, but as you can see, she now has a better relationship with her clients, her students, as she calls them, right? Because she gets to spend more time with them instead of trying to find new clients because she knows the money is coming in, right? And she also gets to do the kind of things that she enjoys. And by doing so, she's reduced her stress level, and that makes her a happier wife. So I want you to think about this for yourself. You know, how would charging the fees that you know that you should be charging by now benefit you? Right? And who else would benefit? Okay. All right, let's move on. Now, the second thing I want to share with you is how to effortlessly attract a steady flow of badass clients, you know, the kind of clients who can pick up the ball and run with it, right? And how do you do that without paid ads, launches, or posting 24/7? So I want you to think about this for a second. What do you think it takes to create demand for your services? Really think about this. Okay? Because I just told you that you can attract a steady flow of clients without webinars, without paid ads, without launches, without posting 24/7. So you might be thinking, well, then what does it actually take? Right? For most people, they think it takes, well, it takes strategy and it takes tactics and it takes messaging. And it does. But here's the challenge with that. If we only look at things from that perspective, this is what tends to happen. I see far too many coaches out in the marketplace who create really high value content, but yet their marketing gets ignored. Or their marketing is getting engaged with, they're getting likes, they're getting comments, but that's not translating into sales. Or when they do get people on the phone, they're just not qualified, right? They're just not at the level, you know, to really step into your programs confidently and then get the results that you know that people are capable of, right? So I would imagine what you want is for your messaging to occupy space in the hearts and minds of your people, right? So you want your marketing to be remembered. I would imagine that you want your marketing to inspire people to take action. And that would be the action of reaching out to you, right? To have potential clients either in your private messenger or, you know, booking sales calls with you consistently. You want to feel the safety and security of knowing that there are people out there who want to work with you because you know that what you offer is so powerful. You know that what you offer can change people's lives, right? I know that too. I believe fundamentally that coaching changes people's lives. And I'm really passionate about helping good coaches get more of the clients whose lives can ultimately be transformed by you, right? So you also want to get on the phone with people who are qualified. You know, the kind of people who know that you are the coach or mentor for them, right? So let's talk about the solution to this. The solution is to master the energetics of marketing. So what most people are focused on, and it's not your fault, right? Because there are so many gurus out there who are teaching you all these latest, greatest tactics and strategies that you believe that that's the way to bring in more leads and sales. I believe that for years in my business, and it kept me stuck. Now, here's the thing. I believe that things work until they stop working. So the strategies and tactics alone may have been working for you up until a certain point, but that's why you're here, right? Because it's either not working for you at the level that you desire, or maybe it just stopped working altogether, right? Usually clients find me when things just stop working, or they just feel like they keep banging their head against a certain income barrier. And so what I found is the secret, if you will, to turning things around is when you master the energetics of marketing. And here's what I really want you to understand. It's so much simpler than you think, and it works so much faster when you get this. Because what we don't understand, or what we don't realize that we're often doing, is we're going out into the marketplace with split energy, right? And you can have split energy around calling in clients for various reasons, right? You can have split energy because perhaps you're afraid of rejection, right? Maybe you're afraid of really putting yourself out there and being seen as too much or not enough. So you're actually going out into the marketplace while you're creating all this amazing content, expecting to be rejected, and then your marketing gets ignored. Or you put out a ton of offers and your offers get ignored, and then you stop putting out offers altogether, right? Sometimes we have split energy because we've had negative experiences with clients. And there might be a resistance, a fear of taking on more clients and then having to be responsible for those clients' results. And what if you disappoint them and they don't get the results? And how's that going to make you feel? Right? And so we're really good at protecting ourselves from the things that we don't want. So even though we can intellectually desire clients, we might be showing up in the marketplace with split energy that's actually pushing them away. Okay? There are lots of ways or reasons why your energy might be split. The key is when we get your energy in alignment with what you desire, that's when magic happens. That's when the clients start to come to you like out of nowhere, right? That's what creates quantum leaps. It's not about working harder. And I love this image of this woman. There are leaves falling on her. I wish it was money, because that's really what it's like. You see how effortless she is and how happy she is? That's what it's like when you master the energetics behind the marketing. When you get this, you'll understand why there are coaches out there who are implementing probably the same exact strategy that you're implementing, but they're seeing the results that they desire and you haven't quite gotten there yet. This would drive me mad when I would see other coaches talking about their 50K and 100K months. I'm like, this is blowing my mind. How come they're getting those results? I'm implementing the same strategy, but I'm stuck at like $25,000 a month. Many of my clients have come to me stuck at $2,500 a month. Brilliant coaches, but just couldn't figure out why they were creating a ton of content and implementing all these different strategies, and nothing was really shifting in their financial results. All right. So when you understand the energetics of marketing, you magnetize clients, whether you're actively working or not. So this isn't about, I'm not telling you you don't have to work, that you can sit home and twiddle your thumbs all day. It doesn't work that way, right? You do have to get out into the marketplace. You do want to share your message because you love sharing your message, because you're passionate about what it is that you do and you're working on people. The point is, you don't have to work as hard. So often we work really hard to prove ourselves because we feel like we have to earn the money. We have to earn the clients. And that's not how it works. Money is energy. We attract money to us, okay? Who we're being is the most important aspect of being able to attract clients consistently. When you elevate who you're being, you master the energetics of marketing, you become a magnet to clients, whether you are, at your computer creating content, or you're out on the beach with your family, or out having brunch with your girlfriends, right? That's the key here. You're able to attract effortlessly. That's what I want you to get. And that means you get to spend less time marketing, more time serving your clients powerfully, so ensuring that they get the most amazing results, and living a life as big as your purpose. Many of my clients, what they desire, while they love the work that they do, they desire to live more of their lives. Many of my clients will share with me when we do a case study video, that they got their life back. And that almost brings me to tears every time I hear it, because it's one of the things that I'm most passionate about helping people experience. Number one, the freedom to do what you want when you want, but also the freedom to be more of yourself, to choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. You know, if you want to work 10 hours a week, or if you want to work 20 hours a week, or if you want to work 50 hours a week, it doesn't matter, as long as it's what you desire to do. As long as it's coming from a place of desire, not from a place of need, because you don't believe that you're worthy and deserving of having clients come into you consistently, of having large amounts of money come into you consistently. That's another way that your energy could be split, by the way. If you feel that you have to work hard in order to get what you want, your energy can be split. You can go out and create the most amazing content, but literally block the sales from coming to you because you feel that you need to work harder in order to, quote unquote, earn them. And again, that's just not how money works, okay? So I want to introduce you to Hind. Hind is another one of my favorite success stories. And what I love about Hind's story is that, you know, she reminds me so much of where I was when I started working with her, where she was working a ton of hours in her business. And she had this belief, like I just mentioned, that you have to work really hard in order to earn, in order to be worthy of receiving more. And sometimes when you're coming from that place, there's a sense of guilt or shame when you make money really quickly and easily. And that was something that I worked with Hind on as well. But the reason I bring her story to you is because, you know, she was at a point where she realized that she was settling in her business. She realized that she was working way too hard for far too little. And it got to a point where she had had enough. And, you know, she shared with me that she watched, I believe, 2 of my videos, and watching them reminded her of who she really was and what she really desired. And so we did the work to shift her energy around her marketing, and I want you to see her results. She, as you can see here, she said she was creating a ton of content, she was getting great results for her clients, but she was settling for $2,500 a month. So she was working sometimes up to 10 hours a day for $2,500 a month. And as you can see, she says that I gave her a personal invitation to wake up, to dream again, and to step in, this is my favorite part, to step into who she was and stop playing small. Sometimes what we do is we hide behind creating content. We hide behind busy work because, again, we don't feel worthy of having what it is that we desire, right? Or having it come to us with a sense of ease. And so we sometimes will play small behind doing all the stuff, doing all the things, right? And so that's one of the things that we shifted in Hind's experience. And in 6 weeks of us working together, she booked $58,000. So she went from $2,500 a month to $58,000 in sales. And that's with her working less and feeling excited and joyful. She was one of the case studies where she said, you know, I felt like I got my life back. And one of the things I also love about her story is that she was able to break a generational cycle of struggle. You know, she's a mom who homeschools her children, and, you know, she now gets to spend a lot more time with them because she's not so busy in her work. You know, her relationship with her husband became even more connected. She felt more supported. So, you know, so many amazing things happened to her as a result of her no longer playing small and, you know, cleaning up her energy and being able to invite more money and more clients into her experience without having to effort so much. So I want you to think about this for yourself. What would be possible for you once you master the energetics of marketing? Okay. All right, now let's move on to the third thing I want to share with you. And this is the secret to closing more sales on the spot. Yes, even 10K or 30K full pay sales. Right? This is what my clients do, and it's amazing, right? To go from like a 10K month to closing a 10K full pay sale. It's just incredible. So let's talk about this. Before we get into that, I want to ask you this. What do you dislike the most when it comes to sales? So many of us, we want the clients, we want to see the money come into our bank account, but we actually don't like the sales process, right? And this is usually why. Usually a couple of things. Number one, you feel like you're wasting countless hours on the phone with prospects who can't afford you, right? Or they have some other excuse. You know, they tell you that they need to speak with their husband, their dog, or their angels before making a decision. And then they disappear. And when you reach back out, they tell you that they've hired one of your competitors. Sometimes prospects will say yes on the phone, and then they're going to disappear when it's time to pay the deposit or sign the contract. Right? So none of these situations feel really good. And, it's one of the reasons why people don't enjoy the sales process. Or sometimes you're afraid of being pushy or salesy, right? Or feeling weird when it comes to asking for the sale. So I would imagine what you want instead is that you want to be able to only invest time on the phone with prospects who actually can afford you no matter the fee. That's the key, right? Especially if you're talking about raising your prices. You want to make sure that you're getting on the phone with people who are going to figure it out. The kind of people who are like, I want this and I'm going to make this happen, right? Those are the kind of clients that I love working with, and my clients love working with as well. And they're available. They're available to you anytime that you want them. You want prospects who show up on the call knowing that you are the coach or mentor for them. So I do sales calls. I actually enjoy the sales call process. Some of my clients don't do sales calls. Some of my clients, close clients over private messenger. Hind was closing 10K and 12K full pay sales over private messenger. So I have clients who do that as well. The point is, when prospects reach out to you, you want the prospects who know that you're the coach or mentor for them, right? They're not asking you questions to try to figure out if you're the person. They already know that you're the person based on the marketing that you're putting out there. If your marketing is positioning you the right way, you're going to attract a steady flow of people who know that you're their person, right? And they're your people. So you also want clients who sell themselves and gladly pay on the spot. So I always have clients who ask me about this. How do you get people to ask you for the sale? Because that's what I like to do. I don't like to sell people on anything. I work with leaders who know what they want. They've already sold themselves, and we get on the phone just to make the decision as to which program they're going to step into and how we're going to make it happen, right? And so for me, I attract clients who, step into my programs ready to go because of this. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So the solution to this, if you want to be able to enjoy the sales process and have people sell themselves into your programs, right, without you feeling pushy or salesy or weird or any of that kind of stuff, what you need to do is raise your standards to the level you want your prospects to calibrate to. So this is really about you getting clear about who you do your best work with and having standards around that. Having standards around that. So I just mentioned to you that I do my best work with women who can lead themselves, right? So I have a standard for that. I am not available to be trying to convince someone over their money objections. I'm just not available for it. I expect when people get on the phone with me that they're going to figure it out. I close a lot of sales that are full pay, and we're talking about 5-figure full pay sales. And then there are some clients who aren't able to make the payment in full. But it's not me trying to figure out how they're going to do it. They figure it out. They're like, I want this and I'm going to figure it out. Let's do this. Right? And so I would imagine that's what you desire as well. So what I would encourage you to do is figure out what are all of the standards that you want your prospects to calibrate to, because your prospects need to be able to rise to the level that you're at, to the level that your best performing clients are at in order for them to get amazing results. So you've got to set the standard. You've got to raise the bar, if you will, and expect that the right people are going to rise, right? So that's the first place to start. And when you do this, that's when you really shift from convincing to actually choosing prospects who are the right fit, right? So I am not about, again, trying to convince people. The worst thing in the world, and I've done this in the past, which is why I know it's not fun. The worst thing in the world is to feel like you're dragging people into your programs and then having to put them over your shoulder and drag them through your program. Not a good idea, right? Those are the kind of clients who, when they don't get results, they blame you, right? Because they're not doing the work because they're not able to lead themselves. So if you really do your best work with clients who lead themselves, then you set that standard, right? And then when you're on your sales conversation, or even if you're qualifying people through private messenger, you're looking for, the qualities and characteristics that let you know this person's going to be a really good fit to work with, right? Not only can you solve the problem that they have, but you're actually going to enjoy working with them. One of my standards is that I only work with clients who, A, are going to be a good time. So clients who I know are going to be fun and easy to work with. B, clients who can pick up what I'm putting down. The kind of clients that I know are going to be able to get a bigger ROI with less effort on my part, right? And the reason for that is, again, we want clients to rise. We want the kind of clients who are going to take responsibility for their own results, because that's how they get results. You can be the best coach in the world, but if a client can't pick up what you're putting down, if they can't pick up the ball and run with it, nothing's going to happen. You want to make magic, right? You want people to experience transformation. You want them to get the results that you know that they're capable of, and they've got to be able to play their part, right? So again, I keep talking about clients who rise, right? Clients who rise to the level that ensures that they will show up in your programs fully committed to their own success. You know, my work requires people to have a high sense of personal responsibility. It requires people to trust in themselves, to believe, I'm going to have your back. I'm going to believe in the moments when you know, are a little bit feeling wobbly or doubtful. I'm going to believe in you in those moments, but you've got to also believe in yourself, right? So again, when you're thinking about this, when it comes to your programs and the people that you want to call in, you've got to know what the standards are that you need to set, that you want people to calibrate to. So I'm going to share with you another story here, and this is Janelle's story. And I think Janelle's story is important to this, this particular thing that we're talking about when it comes to sales, because not only did she go from, you know, selling one $5,000 program a month to closing $30,000 full case sales, she did that working with the kind of clients who actually light her up. Prior to working with me, one of her biggest frustrations, and I think this was one of the reasons why her business was not moving, you know, it wasn't growing as fast as it could have, was because she was working with a lot of clients who felt like they were heavy lifting and draining, clients who were not carrying their own weight. They weren't picking up the ball. And so it was very frustrating. And so remember what I talked about split energy, when we talked about, you know, being able to attract clients consistently. Janelle, as brilliant as she was not attracting clients consistently. She was averaging one 5K sale a month, and she was beyond frustrated. She had tried PR, she had tried paid ads and webinars and launches and all the things that many of us do, and couldn't figure out why she couldn't get beyond that point. And part of it was the split energy. Part of it was also not really seeing the value that she offered people from a higher perspective, not raising her standards to call in people at the level that she does her best to work with. So when we tightened all of that up, her results just blew her mind, right? I want you to see what she was able to accomplish. Within 3 weeks of hiring me, she made $50,000 from averaging one 5K sale a month. She 10x'd her fee, or 10x'd her income in 3 weeks. She went on to do $90,000 in sales in 4 months. And listen to what she says. She says, I'm attracting clients who are right for me, clients who light me up and honor my work without me having to stress over funnels. I get to show up as myself, and that's mirrored back to me in the level of the client I received. All right. So I want you to think about this for yourself. How would it feel to close more sales with clients who lead themselves? Right? Amazing, I would imagine. So now what I want to do is remove all of this stuff, and I want to make my video a little bit bigger, and I just want to talk to you. Because I want you to understand why I'm passionate. I use the word passionate a lot because that's the reality for me. The reality is I love what I do. I could do this all day, every day. I'm really passionate about helping women break through to their next level of income and impact, and being the version of yourself that you're born to be. And the reason that I'm so passionate about that is because I was stuck. I was where you are not that long ago. Not to assume that you're stuck, because you might not be, right? Maybe you're doing okay and you're wanting to go from good to great. Doesn't really matter where you are. What matters is that you're probably here because there's this sense that you should be playing at a level that's much higher than the level that you're currently allowing yourself to play at. And that to me creates a lot of frustration. I can't think of anything more frustrating for a woman who knows that she's powerful to be performing below the level that she knows she's capable of. When you feel like your foot is on the brake, when you can't figure out how to get out of your own way, right? You've got all these big ideas and you go to execute, you're an implementer, you're a doer, but you're still not seeing the results that you know you should be getting by now. That was me, right? That was me for a very, very long time in my business. And, you know, for me coming into the coaching world, I had already had both a 6 and multiple 7-figure company. So to come into the coaching world and flounder the way that I did blew my mind. I couldn't figure out why am I not further ahead. It was crazy to me. And I remember I was stuck around $25,000 a month. About 3 years ago, I was stuck at $25,000 a month, and I was so miserable. I wasn't making the money that I knew I was capable of. I wasn't working with the level of clients who really inspired me to play the game that I knew I was here to play. It was just not a good time. And on top of that, I didn't have the freedom, the time freedom that I wanted. You know, I remember sitting home. This is the turning point for me. I was home visiting my family for the holidays, and I had locked myself in my sister's room working on my umpteenth funnel. And I told myself it was going to be a few minutes, and those few minutes turned into a few hours. And I remember taking a moment to just breathe. I was tired of the pushing and forcing in that moment. I decided I just wanted to take a break. And in that moment, I could hear my family laughing and celebrating the holiday without me. And my heart just dropped because it was like, are you kidding me? It felt like no matter how hard I worked, I couldn't get beyond a certain point. And I was just done. I had had it. You know, because one of my biggest values is freedom, and it's family. It's being able to do what I want when I want to do it, and to feel like I am personally free. And I didn't feel any of it. And I knew that if I didn't decide to do something differently, it would be another year or a year after that or a year after that where things just wouldn't change. And so I made the decision that day to hire a new mentor, someone who could see what I couldn't see because I was doing all the things. I had tried all the strategies. I had invested in all the courses and programs, and nothing seemed to be changing. And I hired a mentor because I really wanted someone, a coach and a mentor, by the way. And I believe it's important to have both, or someone who can serve in the capacity of both, someone who can not only show you what to do, but help you, coach you through if you're getting stuck. Because I needed someone to help me see the blind spots. I needed someone to help me see what I couldn't see so I could finally experience the kind of results I knew I was capable of. And it was the best decision I could have made, because in 2 weeks I went from being stuck at $25,000 a month to $133,000 in 2 weeks. And this was after trying so hard on my own for so long. So I share that with you because I want you to understand what's possible when you make the shifts that we've talked about here today. You know, I want you to understand that so much of getting to your next level has to do with making the internal shifts. There's some strategy, yes, that we talked about today, but so much of it has to do with the inner shifts, those energetic shifts that need to be made in order for you to finally allow in what you've been working so hard to receive. All right, so if what I've shared with you here today has resonated with you, if you feel that, you know, you want to go deeper on this with me, like you're at the place where you're like, I know I could do this by myself. I know I'm eventually going to get to 25 or 50K a month, right? Or even 100K a month. I know I'm going to get there eventually, but I would really just love some support to get there faster and easier, right? If you're at the place where you're like, I've done so much on my own, but I'm ready to go from good to great. And I'm ready to allow myself more ease. I'm ready to allow myself to receive more. I'm ready to expand. And I desire help on my journey. Then I would love to be able to see if or how I can help you. So what you can do is click the link that you see above or below this video, or you can send me a private message on whatever social media platform you're watching this video on. And what we'll do is hop on a quick call, and I'm going to help you, number one, identify what's working and what's not working. We're going to figure out what's actually holding you back, and then create a customized plan that's going to help you close the gap between where you are now and where you know you should be by now, right? So this is really for you if you're wanting to leap ahead, Ferrari fast with simplicity and ease, all right? So if that's something that you're desiring right now, again, you can click the link that you see above or below this video, or send me a private message on whatever social media platform you're watching this on. Here's the thing. This is really for you if you're the type of person who's ready to lead yourself. You're the kind of woman who knows what she wants, right? And you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen, right? You're willing to do whatever it takes to invest in the support to get the help that you need for yourself to realize the big vision that you have for yourself. If you're someone who doesn't have a vision, if you're someone who's not really motivated, you're not a self-starter, you're not someone who's committed to your success, this is not the call for you. I have plenty of free resources available for you to take advantage of until you get yourself to that level. But if you're at the level where you know that enough is enough and you're ready for something to change like yesterday, let's have a conversation. So you know how to get in touch with me, and until we do speak, I hope that you are up to big, bold things in your life and your business. Take care.